Hi, boys and girls. It's Miss B here, and guess what? Today is Earth Day. So happy Earth Day. I didn't realize when I woke up this morning, so I got dressed and just picked a pink shirt and went about my day. And then I thought, oh my goodness, it's Earth Day. So I went and I put on my green shirt, so I felt like I was like representing this awesome planet that we live on. And today, usually on Earth Day, people like to really just stop and take a minute to think about ways they can protect this earth or make it better. And a lot of people plant trees or flowers. If we were at school, whenever it's Earth Day, we always go outside on the playground and pick up trash as a way to help keep our earth clean. But since we can't be there today, I thought I'll read you a book that is a good book for Earth Day. So this doesn't have to do with the land, but it has to do with part of our Earth, our planet, that is a lot of water. It's salty. It has waves and animals, and it is the ocean. And this book is about two turtles named Gary and Harry. They're sea turtles, and I love turtles. I like all turtles, but sea turtles are my favorite. And I'll tell you a story about a sea turtle in a minute. But this book is called The Adventures of Gary and Harry: A Tale of Two Turtles. The story is by Lisa Matsumoto, an illustration by Michael Furuya. So we'll read about Gary and Harry. Hey, Gary and Harry, they rhyme. They end with the same sound. Gary, Harry. Pretty cool. So let me tell you really quick. One time, my family, we went to the beach, and there was a nest, and it had a bunch of eggs in it with sea turtles in them. And so all the sea turtles had hatched and just went out to the ocean. And we wanted to see that, but we missed it. We were like, oh man, like maybe next time. So then the next night, there was somebody at the nest, like somebody who works and does this, like a scientist, and she was checking all the eggs to see maybe why they didn't hatch. So she was cracking them, and she would say like this one was, a level like level one or level two because maybe they didn't grow or maybe they grew a little bit, but they never made it to turtles. So it was kind of neat just to see the process and see her do it. Well, she opened one and there was a turtle, a living sea turtle was in this egg, and it was so cute. So it came out after she saw it was in there, and it kind of made its way out, and it was only like this big, like this tiny little sea turtle. And so anyway, she checked the rest of the eggs, and then once they were all checked, this turtle needed to go into the ocean. And turtles are born knowing um, what to do. So you know how when we're born, we need our mommies and our daddies to feed us and show us how to live. These turtles, they come out of their shell and they're like, all right, I'm supposed to go to the ocean. I'm supposed to swim to the northern lights, and they just know it. This little dude knew it, and that amazes me. So so we have to, the lady places him in the sand. And so the problem is he wants to go into the sea. He knows this is where I want to go, and he's headed that way. But then the waves will come in and push him back. So then we have to make sure. And then also there's a lot of little crabs, and they're like, "Oh, look at that turtle!" So we can kind of be like, "Hey, hey, hey!" Like, watch it, crabs. This turtle's making it. So we all kind of make a line, and we all watch, and we're like, "Oh, go, go, go!" And it took a couple tries, and everybody cheered, and they're like, "Yes, he made it to the ocean." And then me, out of all these people, I said, "Wait a second, like he's right there, that little spot." And the lady said, "Oh my gosh, you're right." And just something about being the one person that spotted this turtle made me feel kind of like so special. And I just felt like a bond with this turtle. Like, dude, I just saved your life, and I would do it again and again and again because I love you. And so we waited. He finally made it to the ocean, and I know this guy, this little man, is he's gonna have a lot of obstacles. He has to probably dodge a bunch of different crabs and sharks and whatever else is out there that's gonna like eat him, and he has to make it so far. But I just knew he was gonna make it. I still think to this day he's living the good life in the ocean, and I wanted to name him. And so there's only one of him. So one, if you spell one, it's O-N-E, and so I call him Oni. And still to this day, I think about Oni. And Oni even reminds me to be strong and say, "Hey, don't let this obstacle stop you. I just swam the entire ocean completely by myself, not afraid. And then I'm like, all right, Oni, I want to be more like you. So so isn't that, I don't know, I just love sea turtles. And this is Gary and Harry. I bet we're gonna fall in love with them too. The Adventures of Gary and Harry, a tale of two turtles. Deep in the sparkling sea, Gary the green sea turtle and his best friend Harry the hawk-billed turtle played in their ocean home. Each day they would swim to the surface and happily dive beneath the waves. Gary and Harry loved their carefree life in the sea and liked to visit their many ocean friends, like Olivia the octopus, Lori the lobster, and even Herman the grumpy old hermit crab, who was really nothing but a big softy under that crusty old shell. For Gary and Harry, each day was a great underwater adventure. Some days they would explore deep into the dark underwater caverns. Other days they would search for long lost treasures buried deep in the hulls of old sunken ships. When they wanted a good laugh, they would visit the crazy clownfishes who performed in Harold Harlequin Shrimp's Spectacular Sea Circus. One day after their morning adventure, Gary and Harry were especially hungry. As always, it was difficult deciding what to have for lunch since they had very different tastes in food. How about a salty seaweed salad made of fresh algae? Gary suggested. Algae? Yuck, Harry replied, making a face. I'd rather have a nice, tasty jellyfish. His wish had been answered, for suddenly a school of jellyfish floated by. Wow, look at all those jellyfish. Harry quickly swam to the largest one and swallowed it in. One big gulp. Gary expected to hear a satisfied ah, but instead, Harry responded with a terrified ah. Harry was gasping and choking. That was no jellyfish he swallowed. It was a plastic bag. Harry knew many sea turtles had died from choking on plastic bags, but he never once thought that it would happen to him. Harry desperately tried everything to remove the plastic bag, but it just wouldn't come out. His life flashed before him. Luckily, Gary had just completed his turtle safety class, and by using the Heimlich maneuver, the plastic bag flew right out of Harry's throat. Whew, that was close, Harry said while catching his breath. How did a plastic bag get in the ocean anyway? How else? Gary answered. The humans. Well, they need to be more careful to keep their trash out of our homes, Harry said angrily. Gary couldn't agree more. Suddenly, Harry's stomach rumbled. All the excitement worked up his appetite. "Well, I'm starving," he told Gary. "Let's get lunch." Just then a beautiful jellyfish floated by. "Look, Harry, just what you asked for, lunch." After what Harry had been through, suddenly jellyfish didn't seem very appealing. "Maybe I'll try one of those salty seaweed salads." Gary's face quickly lit up. "Well, I know the perfect place to go," he said excitedly. And with a flick of their flippers, they quickly dove through the crystal ball water, eager to enjoy a nice, delicious, relaxing lunch. And it was crystal blue water that they dove into, not a crystal ball. The end. Yay! So I'm so happy that they figured out that problem. But did you know that this happens a lot? Because we throw things, we just throw things on the ground, us humans, and out the window, or we make sure it doesn't make it to the trash. And that stuff really does litter our planet and it gets into the oceans and it can hurt animals. And isn't that so sad to think that a turtle out there trying to swim, just like Oni, might swallow a plastic bag and die from it. So we can do things to make this better. And the cool thing about this book, it even had suggestions of ways we can help. And if you live by a beach or by a stream, we live by the river, they have times where you can sign up. You can ask your parents to sign up, where you can volunteer to help clean it up. And you get a bag and you get gloves and you go and you clean up any trash that you find. Um, so sometimes when we get balloons that have the helium in them and we like to let them go and watch them go all into space. And I used to do that too. I used to love to watch them go and disappear. But we learned that that's actually not that great because it goes up, but then eventually it has to come down. So when it comes down, it lands just like trash, this wilted balloon that's really dangerous for animals to swallow and to eat. All right. It says when you go somewhere like to the beach or anywhere, whatever trash you bring in, bring your trash out. So don't just go and, drink your drink and when it's empty, just leave it there. Just make sure you take everything out and throw it away in the right uh, place. Whenever you go, whenever you can pick up trash. You want to be careful though, because if you're in a parking lot or something, you don't want to just grab things because things can have germs. So always ask your mom and dad first and say, "Can I pick this up?" And hopefully they'll let you, or maybe they can help you. So just be aware of that. But right now, with all this yucky sickness going on, a lot of people are wearing gloves. And I don't know if next time you're in a parking lot, look, people are putting their gloves just in the parking lot. And that's so sad. Don't pick those gloves up. But if you wear gloves, make sure they make it to the trash. Don't just throw them on the ground because you can do your part and you can help this earth to be amazing. The last thing is plastic bags, just like the turtle swallowed. We get a lot of those from the grocery store. So instead of throwing them away, if you collect them, there's places like Target and Food Lion where you can go and you can recycle them and you can put the bags in there. And I even have a friend, she's a science teacher. Hi, Gracia. And she collects bags. And so you might be able to ask your mom or ask your teacher, do you know of anywhere that's collecting bags? And then you got every time you see one at your house, you can collect it and you can hand them in, then they're not going to end up in the ocean. They're going to end up getting recycled and something new will be made from them. So you can do your part to make this earth awesome. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Happy Earth Day. I love you guys. I miss you so much. Bye.